Now, welcome to the program, Mr. MMA for Money himself. Getting ready to talk some foosball.
Yes, sir. Little Super Bowl preview.
How are you feeling tonight?
Good. Hanging in there. How you doing, bud?
Oh, just living the dream, player.
Yeah, I hear you.
So,
I'll give a little background.
Okay, you want to give background on yourself?
Yeah, just for those who don't know me, So, real quick, I've been in the sports betting industry for 17 years now. I started back in 1999 for the first ever sports handicapping information website / forum. The owner at the time, he was he used to work for Billy Walters as a mover. I don't know who Billy Walters is. He's probably one of the most infamous handicappers in Las Vegas history.
There you go. Stay closer to your mic. I think you got closer to it, whatever you did.
Okay, good deal. I don't have a pro setup like you.
Well, in due time, my friend.
Yes, sir. So, anyways, he, took me under his wing and pretty much mentored me in...
Billy Walters, huh?
Yeah, Billy Walters and Ken from, the first ever sports information website. And then after that, I worked on both sides of the table. I worked for him. I worked for a book in Costa Rica, setting up lines. I owned my own site, which was ranked fourth in Alexa rankings in terms of traffic for sports betting websites. So definitely have had my rounds in the sports betting industry, let's put it that way.
Hell to the yeah. So let me give you my new, unless you were done with your intro.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
So, from the way I see it, is that we have two offensive powerhouses clashing, one with defensive holes, and one team, the Patriots, that have just been performing out of their minds pretty much all season long. And even the first 4 games not having Tom Brady. So I have a feeling the Patriots are going to win, but I have a feeling you're going to tell me something different.
You know me too well, bud. All right. Well, for those who don't know, the line opened -3, and it was a little juiced. Pinnacle opened -3 at 112. Right now, they have Atlanta +3 -117, but most books in Vegas are just staying on that 3 number, or even a little juice towards New England, 3 -115, 3 -120.
There you go.
And the crazy thing is, they're getting over 70% of the public on New England and no line move. We're talking one of the offshore books that I have access to their info. They have $3 million right now on New England and $600,000 on Atlanta. No line move. It only moved in Atlanta's favor there. So what is that telling you? They want you to bet on New England. The money is coming in on New England, and they're just like, let it flow. Come on in. Bet New England all day long. And that's a bad sign. Usually when you have the team that Vegas is, welcoming you with open arms, that's bad. Especially considering Las Vegas's history with Super Bowls. For those that don't know, Vegas is 24-26 in the last 26 Super Bowls. They have won 24 out of the last 26. They've come away with a profit. There were only 2 Super Bowls they did not profit on, and that was the New York Giants in 2008 and the Niners and Chargers when we were teenagers. So they were, they have a history of setting their lines tight and getting a profit in the most bet sporting event of the year. They play no games when it comes down to winning and losing on the Super Bowl. So as far as a money report, things don't look good if you back New England. Let's put it that way. Another thing is, from a pure betting standpoint, there's a little anomaly going on, I guess we'll call it. New England is sitting at minus 145 on the money line. So if you like New England, you're better off taking the money line than you are the points, obviously. Now, on the flip side,
it's so close to the
on the flip side,
numbers.
If you like Atlanta, you're better off taking the points. And that typically happens in the Super Bowl. That's a tendency that I guess you'd call it an availability bias, where Las Vegas knows that the public likes to take underdogs in the Super Bowl. That's just, basing off of past history. So they typically skew the money line and shade it. Shade the VIG, which ultimately makes the underdog a sucker bet for big games like the Super Bowl. So like, for instance, if we go back and we look at the 2007 Super Bowl with the Colts are a 6.5 point favorite over the Bears. Typically a 6.5 point favorite would be a minus 280 money line. That's a win probability of about 74%. Well, the Super Bowl money line closed at minus 245, which says that that's 71%. So essentially, you got a VIG-free discounted bet, which obviously, as you know, would make you a profitable sports bettor long term if you were able to get that, every day of the week. So you're going to see situations like that, where the market pretty much dictates where the line goes. There's so much money being put down that the line manager is just going to let the line dictate itself. And that's even why you'll see small limits were set up last week. Now things are starting to open up, and as we get to game day, obviously you'll see, big limits out there. Offshore, seeing some books have 40, 50,000. In Vegas, I know you can get $100,000 down, pretty much without a problem. So, they pretty much allow you to move the line for them and, not get hurt, let's put it that way. And then once they feel comfortable enough in their position, then they open it up and you're allowed to get down your $50,000, $100,000, if you got a big suitcase full of money in the closet.
Which I do. I've been waiting to unload my big
suitcase.
Nice.
I know you've been busting ass working 14, 16-hour days. That shit's stacking up over there.
Yeah, I'm putting it all on the Patriots money line.
Shit. It looks
no, I'll probably write it with you. I don't know. From my limited knowledge, I just feel like the Patriots are just unstoppable right now. Just looking at it from a pure standpoint. And let me ask you a question about this. You can maybe tie it in with both. The sports books have been getting killed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So do you think that them not adjusting the lines has anything to do with that?
Yeah, I think to an extent. I think they were comfortable in the number that they set. I think they knew that they were going to get Patriots money. Now, statistically, my model came out with -1 on the Falcons, which basically said that they knew they were getting, 4 points value themselves by opening Patriots -3. So they were comfortable with that. They were giving the majority of the public the shit end of the stick by dealing -3 on the Patriots, and they were comfortable with it. and then all the money flowed in at a bad price, and the public got shitty value. 80%, 70% of bettors got shitty value in the Super Bowl. So they're comfortable with that.
Huh. Yeah. And, sportsbook's been getting killed. Matt Ryan, he's looked – how good has he looked lately?
Yeah, both offenses have looked tremendous. The Patriots have looked tremendous, and Atlanta. Atlanta averaged 40 points per game in the playoffs. That is unheard of. New England has averaged 35 points in the playoffs, which is unheard of.
And how about that total number? That's the highest ever, right?
Yeah, 58. And the interesting thing, and I just, noticed it today looking through past Super Bowls, there's only been 2 times in Super Bowl history where both teams have scored over 30 points.
Huh.
It traditionally does not happen where teams score a ton of points, at least together.
Yeah.
Usually shootouts in the Super Bowl. Teams, it's the biggest game of the year. So you're going to try to be more conservative on offense. You're going to try to be more conservative on defense. But, it'll be interesting to see how things swing this year with, you got the number 1 offense in the league in Atlanta, and you have the number 10 offense in the league with New England. So you got very good offenses there. Atlanta has the 23rd ranked defense, so that's not too tremendous. And New England has the 10th ranked or 9th ranked defense, in their own right. So, they're a mid-tier team pretty much by looking at the stats. And that's broken down with offensive and defensive stats, taking into account the strength of schedule. So New England has played, leading up to the playoffs, they played weak teams. The best quarterback they played to date before the AFC Championship, or I should say coming up to the AFC Championship, was Ben Roethlisberger, and he was ranked 11th in the league. They had a cream puff schedule coming up to the Super Bowl. Huh. It did get tough once they got there, but it was a cream puff schedule. They were playing teams like the Browns, RG3, some weak quarterbacks. And they took advantage of it. But in the same token, they're mid-tier. They have the 9th ranked defense and the 10th ranked offense. They look unstoppable now, don't get me wrong. But they got their confidence from beating up on weak teams. Whereas Atlanta, on the other hand, they came out of the South. They had a decently tough schedule. It's ranked 14th in the league. So, that's a lot better than New England, who had the 23rd ranked, so they had a way softer schedule.
So the scheduling is leaning you towards Atlanta as well.
Yeah, the scheduling was beneficial to New England, and
of course, that's like, they say Dallas is America's team, but it might actually be the Patriots. And a lot of people on the West Coast don't even care about the Patriots at all. Like, one would hate them or love them, but I think the rest of the country either hates them or loves them. They definitely draw a lot of attention.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing. You either hate them or you love them. There's no in between.
Huh.
Now,
there's somebody like...
as a coach, I think Belichick is tremendous. I think he'll probably go down as one of the best coaches in history, behind Vince Lombardi. He came from the Giants. For those who don't know, I was born and raised in New York City area, and I was a big Giants fan and still am. And as a kid, Belichick led, along with Parcells and Tom Coughlin and
Bill Parcells, right?
they led him to the Super Bowl in '86. Belichick was the coordinator, and along with Bill Parcells, and they led him to the Giants to 2 Super Bowls in '86 and the Super Bowl was 1991, but it was the '90 season. And then he went to the Browns, actually. A lot of people don't know. And Belichick turned the Browns around for the most part, and then eventually got hired by New England. If you actually go and look at the Bill Belichick coaching tree, they have it on Google. You go to Google Images and you pull up the Bill Belichick coaching tree, and you'll see some tremendous names in the history of the game. Guys like Charlie Weiss was tied to him, the Notre Dame coach, Josh McDaniels, just the lineage of Parcells on down to Belichick. And, there's some historically great football minds on that list. It's kind of like the MMA for Money family tree, You got Billy Walters on top, coming down the list, to my mentor, down to me, down to you guys,
Right. Family Hammer.
Yeah, pretty nice,
Fuck yeah. All right, so let's get into some picks and bets, if you would. Maybe you don't want to release any of them, but I will say that I like the under because I feel like there's so much hype garnered off of these two offensive machines. And once it comes down to playing time, the level of the magnitude of the situation, I think there's going to be some. They're not going to perform as well as what I'm envisioning. And this is all gut stuff. I'm not a model number guy like you are, which has been determined to be successful long term. What I'm seeing is first quarter is very slow, and that live total is going to drop down. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think it'll be a tale of two halves. I think either, if the first half starts off slow, then you'll see the pace pick up in the second half, or vice versa. I don't think you're going to see 4 quarters of, crazy nonstop offensive action. Defenses are
just fucking Hail Marys left and right for TDs.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see that. I think you'll see a close competitive game no matter what.
Yeah. Huh. And a lot of the Super Bowls have been kind of boring. I don't have anything in front of me. Maybe the last one was more competitive, but the last 5 have been kind of blowouts.
Well, we just said, only twice in 51 Super Bowls have 2 teams scored more than 30 points. That says it right there.
Huh.
Yeah.
So,
they're not big, high-scoring affairs. The one was 35-32, I believe. And the other one was, I forget off the top of my head. I want to say 40-33 or something like that. But, 58 is going to be a hard number to cross over. And based on, the model, it's saying 54 is the number. So you are getting statistically 4 points value, 4.5 points value if you bet under 58.5.
Huh. And expect that line to drop come Super Bowl Sunday. Probably 57.
I expect that to drop. I think you'll see the public push it up, and then I think you'll see the groups push it on down come Saturday night, Sunday morning. And I think you'll even see that 3. I think you'll see them come off the 3 come game day. Once the groups come in hot and heavy, especially if for whatever reason they move off 3 to 3.5, which I don't think you'll see. I don't think you'll see New England bump up to 3.5. But if you do, you're going to see a flood of group money come flying in on Atlanta, and it'll beat that number down low. But more realistically, I see it staying at the 3 and the group money come in on Atlanta and take it down maybe to about 2.5 or 2. I think there will be enough heavy influential money that will bring it down, regardless of the fact that 80% of the tickets are on New England. I still think you will see the line come off the 3 in Atlanta's favor because the group money will be that big come game day.
Huh. Dropping knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Mr. MMA for money.
Don't forget, we got a lot of props, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're going to be throwing out a dozen props.
The Super Bowl is time for props. A few of them that we got will either team score 3 straight times in a row. Yes is minus 190. No is plus 170. Will there be a missed extra point? Yes is plus 270. No is minus 330. Which team will score first? Patriots is minus 130. Falcons is plus 110. Total completions by Tom Brady, over 25.5 or under 25.5. They're both minus 110. I like the over in that one. I think Brady will throw over 25.5 completions. They like those short routes.
Yeah, the short game.
He likes to watch those slants. Chris Hogan,
We got to wrap it up quick here, so let's get a couple more props out.
Yeah, well, LeGarrette Blount scored a touchdown. Yes is minus 160. No is plus 140. Total receptions by Julian Edelman, over 7.5, under 7.5. And total gross passing yards by Matt Ryan, over 325.5 and under 325.5. And total rushing yards by Devontae Freeman, over 50.5 and under 50.5. That's an interesting one that caught my attention. They're saying that Devontae Freeman is only going to get 50.5 yards, which, is that a sucker bet? It kind of looks that way.
For the over?
Yeah, he shares the role, as we saw in the playoffs, even though he is the starting running back, but he does share the role. So 50.5 yards is questionable.
Yeah, well, we had that one bet on him that didn't work out.
Yeah, because it's Tevin Coleman.
Right.
It's whoever has the hot hand is really what it comes down to. And, if one running back is better than the other, then you'll see Atlanta tend to lean on Tevin Coleman. If Freeman starts off, better picking up 5-6 yards chunks, then you'll see Freeman get most of the carries. But for the most part, they like to keep it a 50-50, 60-40 split.
Cool. Well, right on, man. I really appreciate you coming on, and we can promote it. Just to fast forward, we could time mark if you want, whatever. But anyways, it was good to chat with you again, brother. You're my boy, and we talk all the time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I had a good time, and for everybody else, come to MMAformoney.com or MMA for Money on Twitter, and you will get more knowledge and information, breaking news as the weekend goes on. Yes,
please. If you are into sports betting at all, you better get on Twitter. And if you're not on Twitter, then you better get on Twitter. But if you are on Twitter, then you better follow MMAformoney.com and click that notification window, because the bets come fast and you've got to be ready to fire. They come really close to game time. But all right. Well, thanks a lot, bud. Definitely talk to you later. This has been Mercury's Cast. Super Bowl weekend. Damn, we didn't even mention Groundhog Day today. Oh well, 6 more weeks of weather. It was almost inevitable. All the rain shit that we had. Good Lord. But for anybody else, please step your game up. It's been Mercury's Cat.
How do you ride? How do you ride? How do you ride? How do you ride? How do you